Hello everyone, today's video is about our second practical, which is germination of monocot and dicot seeds. Flowering plants are divided into two groups based on the number of cotyledons or seed leaves within their seeds, monocots or dicots. Cotyledons are actually the embryonic leaves of a seedling and serves to absorb nutrients in the endosperm or food storage of the seed. Remember, cotyledons are just leaf-like structures. They are not true leaves. In monocotyledonous, also called monocots, seed contain only one cotyledon. In contrast, dicotyledons or dicot hold two cotyledons in their seeds. Monocot examples include onion and grasses like wheat, rice, and maize. Dicot examples include hardwood trees and legumes like peas, beans, and lentils. Seed germination requirements. Both monocots and dicot seeds have similar seed germination requirements. The seed must be fully developed with an embryo, endosperm, appropriate number of cotyledons, and a seed coat or testa. Seed germination requires optimal environmental conditions to germinate. Temperature must be warm enough so seeds can germinate but not so hot as to damage the seed. Moisture in the soil contributes to the seed germination. Water is always needed to allow vigorous metabolism to begin. Oxygen is also needed for germination chemistry to proceed. Different species require different light conditions to aid germination until seedlings are exposed to necessary sunlight. In both monocots and dicot, seedlings grow slowly after they emerge above the soil. The seedlings first develop its roots and then its true leaves that can photosynthesize and convert sunlight to energy. Let us understand the process of germination with simple experiments. We need seeds of some monocot and dicot plants. Paper towel, filter paper, or even the newspaper can be used for seed germination experiments. We also need petri plate or a glass jar. Corn is a typical example of monocot as it has just one cotyledon. For germination of corn seed, first moisten the paper towel and place it with 3 to 4 corn seeds in a petri dish. Seed germination begins with the seed absorbing water, which leads to the swelling and softening of a seed coat. Water initiates biochemical activity in the seed. Monocots have starchy seeds and need about 30% moisture content to germinate. Within 2 to 3 days, seeds start germinating with primary root or radicals start growing down. After that, primary leaf of the plant grows up. It is protected with the hollow cylindrical structure called coleoptile. In soil, once seedling has grown above the surface, coleoptile stop growing and the primary leaves appear. Kidney bean is a typical example of dicot. For germination of dicot plants, place 2 to 3 bean seeds on a moist paper towel in a petri plate. Generally, dicots have oily seeds and start germinating after reaching at least 50% of moisture content. After this, a lag phase gives the chance for a seed to begin internal processes such as cell respiration, protein synthesis, and metabolism of food stores. Within 5 to 6 days, cell division and elongation occurs and primary root emerges out from the seed. This is a radicle and this root allows water absorption by the new plants. An apical meristem will eventually develop from this radicle and produce plant root system. Then its shoot comes forth from the seed consisting of the cotyledons, hypocotyle and epicotyle. When seeds are grown in the soil, the hypocotyle, which is the below cotyledon parts, emerges from the seed coat and pushes its way up through the soil. Two cotyledons protect the plumule from the mechanical damage. Plumule actually consists of epicotyle, that is above cotyledon part, and the first true leaves. Cotyledons continue supplying energy to the growing seedlings until the primary leaves are formed. Once the true leaves are formed, photosynthesis becomes the primary energy source and the growth becomes much more rapid. Then the cotyledons undergo abscission and fall off. Thank you very much.